All right, I think we're live. This new setup that I have, though, I have to search to see, make sure that we're live. So just give me 1 second. Yeah, I gotta do some. I got some deleting to do.
Deleting what?
Well, I'll explain later. But let's see. Oh, shit, we're here.
What?
We're live.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
Yeah. Yo, what's up, everyone? I am
It's episode
Sahi.
68, right?
Episode 68. Can't believe we've been doing this for this long. Right? We've
That's
been
what
doing this
she
for a minute,
said.
man.
Yeah, true. True, yeah. That's been a
I
minute.
I I walked right into that one. So nice, nice. I'm not doing the Instagram stream tonight, so I will figure that out a little bit later. Also, for whatever reason, what's up
It's
with
not us, it's
my
Instagram. It's not us.
yeah? Also, for whatever reason, Target Podcast ain't streaming on either, so I'm gonna have to fix that one later. Oh, I think I know what that is. Yeah. Oh, I know what that is. Yep. We'll fix that later. Yeah, it's the reason why I am not streaming on everything. Nicholas, is that good? What you're eating, is it good? Just let you know how totally professional we are with the podcast. Coming on, one guy's eating, one guy kind of started and a podcast.
Hey, look, man, for the people
Oh
out
my god.
there, okay, I love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So this evening we made a seafood paella with lobster tail and shrimp, and it came out delicious.
I love paellas. They're
And you
great.
can follow all of my cooking
Mm.
adventures on Culinary Savages on Instagram.
Hey, I didn't know we were doing sponsors. When were we doing sponsors?
This episode is sponsored by the Culinary Savages.
Actually, this episode is sponsored by my new laptop, my new desktop computer.
So we have two sponsors. We're blessed. We're blessed this week.
Yeah, yeah, but one sponsor is actually is the reason why we're doing it. It's all good. No. No. Welcome to the Targeted Podcast. I am Sahi. That is Nicholas. Thank you for spending your Sunday evenings with us.
Mhm.
Uh, this evening, Sunday, during the evening. I'm killing this, right? Okay,
Do
cool.
you
Uh,
you need to stop and like make yourself a drink or something, man? You good?
my drink right now is brought to you by Gatorade. Is it in you? It is. That's what she said. Uh, all right, no. We're done playing around. So, Sahi Nicholas. By the way, I'm so happy we brought up the Gatorade because, like, maybe an hour before this started, I was crossing the street. I got like a Gatorade. And this got Snicker bar because I love Snicker bars. When I was walking back to my apartment, and I got catcalled by a girl.
Ooh.
I know. She was I was about to cross the street, and she was like, she rolled her window down. She goes, "Hey, sexy." Well, I heard the sexy part, so I said, I'm assuming it was "Hey, sexy."
Would you stop?
Anyway,
You looked around. You were like,
no, it was definitely clearly me that she was talking about. Um, Made me feel good about myself a little bit, you know. So
"That's good, man."
maybe. Also, fucking, I just realized that you can't see the reject racism on my shirt. But you know what? I don't care. We'll figure that out later.
And you know what, man? Just chill. All right, just chill.
You do know your shirt is back. It's backwards. Let me see if I can fix that for you. Actually, I don't think I can fix it. I think you have to fix it on your end.
Oh well.
Yeah, yeah. This is just chill. It actually smells like okay. You know what? Screw it. We're just screwing around a little bit, so let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome to our podcast. Saheed, Nicholas, to all my Islamic friends and family, and to everyone really, Eid Mubarak. So
Mm.
today is the second Eid. It's a smaller version, right? So first Eid was the end of Ramadan, about 45 days later. Second Eid, right? And that is just to what that does is it celebrates Abraham not sacrificing his son,
Mm.
right? And instead sacrificing a lamb. So a little fun fact here. I wanted to do a little bit more stuff too, like we had Eid. I wanted you to ask if you've been listening to the Elon Musk stuff a little bit.
A little bit, a little bit.
Yeah. So Elon
I
Musk
do know.
impregnate.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go no. You. I want. What do you know? What do you know?
He he pulled out of the deal, or he's trying to pull out of this Twitter deal. I mean, all
Yeah.
that noise. Frankly, I'm disappointed.
Yeah. He pulled out the deal. He doesn't pull out in women though, apparently. So,
But
yeah. No. So apparently, no. I don't know if you heard this too. So he had a busy week. He pulled out Twitter, and it was just discovered that he got his an executive at one of his companies, Neuralink, pregnant. She's pregnant with two of his kids, right?
twins,
Twins, yeah.
crazy.
While he was like with his girl on and on off girlfriend, Liam Grimes, and his Twitter post was like, "Yeah, I'm just doing my part to solve the declining civilization um thing. Like it's like that's the biggest problem we're solving right now." And I'm like, can this guy just stop talking anymore? I no longer think he's that as smart as I think I thought, but it's just like he wants this attention, and it's like just make cool shit, and you'll get your attention. Like I
Honestly,
don't
man,
know,
some of
man.
these people they just become separated from reality, man. I honestly
Yeah,
think like people like him, Kanye is like
yeah. You're right.
you get
When you get so
so
successful, when you're so successful, and you're just up there and you're in cloud nine, right? You're like he's the
yeah
richest guy in the world. He talks, people listen, and he's just like it just got to his head, right?
yeah. Like he was like I remember Kanye saying something like I don't believe in owning houses anymore, something like that. I just didn't like that. He was just like he just wherever he is, he calls his home now or whatever, something. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well, for the rest of us to not be homeless, I'm going to
yeah.
need a house.
Talk about totally forgetting where you came from, right? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's just nuts that you know he's doing that. So, uh, well, I don't even know what to say. I honestly don't
I'm
know what
just
to
bored.
say.
I say I'm disappointed because it's like he made all this noise about how
Yeah,
Twitter needs to change, what he
yeah,
will do with it, blah 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 blah. And whether or not you agree with what he's saying, it's like some people were like, all right, well, let's see what you're gonna do. I'm
yeah.
curious to see what he's gonna do, right?
Well, he got
But
Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey was supposed to. Well, he was the founder and he was CEO of Twitter sometime, and he endorsed it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm all for this guy taking over Twitter." And then he made a lot of noise of uh making sure Trump doesn't get like banned or whatever, like or not permanently banned. And go figure, a bunch of like right wingers like rejoice or whatever, and then like he pulls out, and he says that it's because he didn't know about well, they didn't provide information about how much robots or how many bots is on the platform. And I'm thinking to myself,
you're a tech guy, man. You
you
should
you write off you write off you
run
write
your
yourself off
station.
as a really smart guy, right? You write yourself
Yeah.
off as an extremely smart guy, a really smart man, and um like you miss something very obvious. So at some point, like he kind of lost his marbles, or I don't know, maybe he was never like that. This is the reason why we shouldn't like look for heroes in these people. Like honestly, like we
Well,
really shouldn't.
yeah.
Like, which is funny because we're gonna be talking about that later in the show.
He reminds me every time, like when I read some of
Yeah,
these headlines about Elon Musk, I think about you watch the show Silicon Valley, right?
I've seen a
Like
couple
with
episodes. I don't really.
and not Gavin Belson, I think it was like another guy. I don't know. It was like
Yeah,
two like competing CEOs, and one was just
yeah,
like a
yeah,
douche, and then he kind of
yeah,
it seems like he's kind of becoming that guy, the one that was like
yeah.
the head of that big company, and he was trying to find ways to be innovative, but he kind of lost how to be innovative or whatever.
Yeah.
But
What a douche. Yeah, not a fan. I don't think we should. Yeah. Anyway, and you know what's crazy thing? So I watched Thor today, and we'll discuss it later. And
yeah,
I saw like the Tesla. And it's a nice car. It's a very nice car. These cars are nice, but I
which
don't see
Tesla?
myself. I think it was like the Model 3. Um, like it was a smaller one, the small version. It was like our boy Edo,
Okay.
our DJ friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
So
that's the
yeah,
one
it's
you
one of those
wanted to
cars.
get anyway, right?
I wanted to get that car too, but like Elon's a douche. I don't feel like inflating his ego. So get out of here.
Not helping that guy.
Um, yeah, like it is. It is. Well, most of his money he makes off of carbon credits, which is funny for when it comes to Tesla, right?
Mm.
Yeah, we can discuss that whole carbon credits thing later. I also want to talk a little bit about January 6th. Have you heard anything about that at all?
Honestly,
I haven't.
man,
I
I
haven't been keeping up with it.
yeah, I'm just looking at the headlines really. I know
Yeah,
that I know about the witness tampering. I'm trying to get him for that.
yeah,
But like my dad was here, like he was just watching all these, political correspondents just talk about it over and over and over again, like ad nauseum. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm waiting for the results. Like
yeah.
I'm not really following it like that.
I
I want
don't.
to see some results now. I know a lot of people have been
Yeah,
arrested, which is great. They should have been,
yeah,
right? Now let's go after the person who has
yeah,
caused all this issue. So
yeah. No, totally agree. That's part of the reason why I don't watch it because, like, I know nothing's gonna happen to him, and um,
you're just waiting for it to
yeah,
be confirmed, right? I know nothing's gonna
yeah,
happen.
nothing's gonna happen, right? Which is sad, right? And I was talking to a good friend of mine. We actually hung out Saturday, which I got to tell you about some of the things we hung out about. But we're talking about like so how she went to the Holocaust Museum, and kind of the rise of Hitler. And she's like, "Yep, that's just Trump's story right there." The right, right, and it's very similar how those stories. Like every time somebody compares Republicans to like Nazi, right? Like it's this huge pushback as opposed to like how dare you compare because it's not the same. And there is such thing as false equivalency. It's not one to one the same. Like that would be horrible to say Trump is Hitler, right? Not true.
Yeah.
Gross exaggeration. And I don't think anyone is saying that, to be honest with you. But when you look at the rise of dictatorships, you look at Hitler, you look at Saddam, you look at Gaddafi, you look at Putin, you look at all of these figures, Stalin, right? And they follow a similar playbook, right? And that's kind of the thing that's just frustrating me. I just want to talk a little bit about that. Also, Prime Minister was assassinated uh,
Yeah, I couldn't believe
this
that one,
week.
man.
That was shocking in a country that um, doesn't have a lot of gun problems, and quite frankly, thankfully the guy didn't have access to an assault rifle. Right, he had a handmade gun that was kind of one shot. Uh,
Hmm.
um, get the job done type situation and you got like arrested. So definitely sad to hear. Like I remember reading the news. I was like, holy crap! Like this is nuts. Like what's going on? So yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
definitely a
That's
shock to see
crazy.
that headline, man.
Yeah,
Like
super shocked.
such a high-ranking official to be
Yeah.
assassinated like that.
Well, yeah, he's a former high-ranking official. He was former prime minister, right? The guy who shot him apparently didn't it wasn't anything for political reasons. He thought that he was associated with some organization that he wasn't. So that's essentially the
So he was
reason.
wrong for the reason he shot him. That's
Well,
crazy.
let me not even say that, to be honest with you. I would say that he assumed the prime minister was a part of an association, and they haven't commented on that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I yeah, it's I'm actually at a loss of words for that one myself. To see that happen, so definitely, I mean, nothing you can say. Just thoughts go out to the family and whatnot, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So some of us do our homework and some of us don't. I watched Thor over the weekend, and Nicholas didn't have a chance to.
Hey, we were putting together beds and
Yeah, I
all
forgot
sorts
you
of
just
stuff.
moved in. Yeah, I didn't forget. Actually, you moved in, so absolutely. No, no, no. I mean, I'm just messing with you. Obviously, you're a busy man. Just did a move. How was the move, by the way?
What the hell?
Of course.
But it's well, yeah, okay. So the actual moving was
Mm,
okay because we hired some great movers.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, did they
but
didn't
it's
damage
just,
anything?
I mean, they messed up. They dropped my grill, which I was upset
Mm.
about.
Oh shit! That a
Um,
really expensive grill?
yeah,
The egg? Mm.
they put it back together. Not quite the way it was, but
Is it still functioning?
it's still, yeah, still works.
Okay.
So I'm like, eh. But other than that, but it's just like after you move in, then you're going through the process of unpacking. You gotta put, you're ordering stuff, putting stuff
Yeah.
together. Gotta get a washer and dryer. Gotta get a dishwasher. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. Errands. Yada yada yada. So it's just getting really annoying at this point.
Moving
But
sucks.
we're rushing a little bit too because we have a baby on the way or whatever. So
Yep.
you know, it is what it is. But no, I am going to see the movie. We're still going to do an in depth review. But what
Yeah.
I did do,
Okay.
this movie is based on one of my favorite Thor storylines.
Yeah. There
Um,
there there are a couple, yeah, the God Killer, and there's a lot of the Mighty Thor. But yeah, go ahead and let's talk about.
yeah, so I'm just a big fan of the storyline. When I saw Gore the God Butcher, when I saw that they were bringing him into this movie, I immediately had very high hopes. I read some of the spoiler-free reviews, and honestly, it's been kind of a mixed bag. Seems like the
Yeah.
fans like it, but the critics are kind of in the middle. Some of them like it, some of them like eh. And it's like it feels like almost like we have a Batman Returns type situation here, right?
Mm,
Where the first movie was super successful, and they're like
yeah.
they give the director like, "Hey man, go do it, go get at it." You know what I mean? So with
Yeah.
Tika, what I'm going to
Tai
butcher her name.
Taiwatika.
Yeah,
Taiwatika. Taito Watika. I'm sorry. Tahiti Watika. Yeah.
he Thor Ragnarok, one of the best Marvel movies out there as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
right?
It's a good
And
movie.
so they give it back to him like, hey, do your thing. And it's like
Yeah.
he took it to the next level, and now for at least from what I read, it's like it's a little too much. It was like the characters didn't really move forward in any sort of meaningful way,
Okay.
and it was just like it didn't really add anything necessarily. It's kind of just it's a nice little episode, but
Yeah.
didn't bring anything new to the universe per se, except for obviously
Interesting.
the Mighty Thor. Jane Foster.
Um, I would say they did bring something new to the universe, and that you'll have to wait after the credits to see, right? Because that's going to lead into another Thor storyline. So I won't get into that
If it's the
right
one
now.
I'm thinking of, so this is another reason why I'm excited about this movie because this storyline um, results in Thor deep down subconsciously thinking that Gore is right, and so
Mm-hmm.
let's get into Gore a little bit. He has a
Yeah,
very sad history, right? He's like
yeah.
thousands of years old. He comes from a planet where he a lot of bad things have happened to his people. He's lost his loved ones, his family,
Mm,
and even despite all that, everyone he knows is still praying to their gods. They're still maintaining their faith, and he's like, "What's the point, right?
yeah.
If these gods are supposed to be helping us, why aren't they helping us, right?" And so because of that, because they don't help him, he goes out on this crusade to kill the gods, and obviously,
Mm,
he ends up meeting Thor. At least in the comics, he ends up meeting like a young Thor, kicks his ass. He fights Thor like young Thor like several times, but in
Mm-hmm.
one of their fights, Thor slices off his arm. So they have like an ongoing beef about that.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, Thor it was young Thor, um, old Thor, current Thor. All of them had to come together to beat him. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, at the end of the storyline, Thor again, like I was saying, comes to realize that
Yeah.
maybe he was right. And so Nick Fury in another storyline tells him, "Hey, I know the truth," and he's like, "You're not worthy." He basically says something along the lines of, "You're not worthy, and you know why." You can't
Mm-hmm.
really say, read what he said in that issue,
Yeah.
but as soon as he says it, boom, Thor's no longer worthy of Mjolnir, right? And so what
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking is going to happen because
In
they
this
have to have a
movie?
reason. They have to have
Okay.
a reason. I'm thinking about the post credits, but they have to have a reason
Okay.
for the actor to move on. I hope Chris Hemsworth continues playing this dude because I love him.
Yeah, he's
But
great. He's a
it's
great.
going to be there might be another movie where basically Thor becomes unworthy and decides to just leave it all to Jane to be the mighty Thor. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's
There's,
spoken. Okay. So I'm not gonna comment on any of that. I'm just gonna let you watch the movie yourself. You did hit some points though, and I want to first shout out to my buddy Robert and Sam. So Sam, one of my oldest fans in DC, that was the one where I was at our wedding as a bridesman. Go ahead and make your joke there. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So
You the
shout out
maid
to
of
my buddy.
honor. Yeah.
Thank you. Whatever. There it is. So there it is.
So when they play single ladies, did you get up too?
Shut up. Anyway, that was a good one, by the way. Um, that was a good one. That was a real good one. All right. So, but I wanted to say shout out again to Robert and Sam for they. I went to watch this movie with them, and I first asked for their like opinions first. And again, this is going to be a spoiler free uh review. I'll do a good job of like not spoiling it for you, and
I
it's
feel
good
like I
that you're
gave
here too.
spoilers through the comics. So I
Mm.
gave the people what happened in the comics.
Yeah,
Let's see
that is.
how I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
obviously it's not gonna play out the same, right? Because the
yeah.
comics are always gonna
So
put in some extra stuff. It's not gonna be
yeah,
three quarters.
exactly. But there are two um major storylines. The Mighty Thor storyline to the Jane Foster storyline. I would say it stays true in some sense to that storyline, right? And then the God Killer storyline, which um I'll let you go ahead and
Yeah,
watch this TV,
I know
see
the
what you
mighty.
like.
Yeah, I know her. Like so, what I liked that in her storyline,
Yeah.
she had cancer in the
Yeah?
comics, and being the mighty Thor, obviously, I mean, it was like a vacation away from all that or whatever. But the more she did it, I think the worse she got. Something along those lines or whatever.
Right. So review
So
time. So one of the things that I'll do is I'm going to actually talk to. So one of the things, I guess, one of the critics about this movie though is that there's no real connection to other movies. Not really. Like,
but I
almost.
don't need that. When we last see him, he leaves with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's there with the
Yep.
Guardians of the Galaxy. That's all I need to
Yeah.
know.
So let me just, and that's kind of what they do. But I will say this. He, how do I say this? Can you still, I can still hear you, right? You still there?
Yeah,
All right, cool. It just got deadly silent on my microphone for a second.
I
That's
stopped
why I was
talking.
like, yeah, but you usually hear voices. I usually hear sounds or you breathing, whatever. It just shows how good your microphone is. By the way, shout out to Nicholas's new microphone. It's it's
Well,
super crisp.
it's the
When
same
it's quiet, it's
microphone,
quiet as F.
new placement.
Ah,
Yeah, new
crazy. What
placement.
crazy? Yeah, leave it there from now on. Okay. So no, anyway, let's talk I want to talk about what my friend said about the movie first,
Okay.
right? Um and to be fair, they're not like us. They're not like Marvel or MCU nerds, right? My friend Sam, she usually just watch MCU films like on an airplane. like she's not paying attention. Robert, I've actually been seeing a couple MCU movies with, but he's again not super like into it, and they were more on the not so like it end, where they called it a little bit too silly or over the top and whatnot. Um, and I kind of see their point a little bit. I actually were a little bit more on the like it end. I would say though, um, at the beginning, there was a lot of pacing errors or things that I saw because they were just trying to catch up a little bit on Thor, so they can kind of get to the storyline. I would say the story kind of starts settling itself when they get to the city of the gods, right? Um, so like when they start like just talking to the city of the gods, right? So again, not spoiling anything, but like a lot. It was kind of like just a quick. And then we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here, and then it starts kind of settling down a little bit there. So that was kind of my criticism. Let's talk about what it's like. Something's up with our stream. Okay, good, we're good. So let's talk about like what it's like. So as you can see, it's a love story.
Romantic comedy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a rom com a little bit. I would say that there's a lot of similarities with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, right? A lot of similarities there.
So
Um,
the movie's not about Thor.
oh, the movie is about Thor. It's definitely a Thor movie. Yeah, I would say okay, that's a good one. I would say this movie does a better job of it being about a Thor movie than that movie about it being a Doctor Strange movie. Which
Okay.
brings me to another point. I wish we didn't have to like throw, and I guess maybe that's consistent with the comics, right? But I kind of like some of these, like Doctor Strange is like a co-op movie almost, right? Like Captain America, it was a co-op movie. Like Captain America was the main protagonist, but it was about everyone else too, right? And
So like
building
you're
their
talking about
stories
like
as
Civil
well.
War.
Yeah, like Civil War, right? Um, this movie was has a little bit more of the co-op feel, right? To to it as well. It is definitely a Thor movie. I'll give you that. Um, and um, no, it does have a lot of characters though, and that's kind of where it struggled with me. My the problem with the movie with me is that it almost had the same issue with that Eternals had, where there are just too many characters and you have to kind of remember all of them. Now, granted, for me and you, it's going to be different because we know a lot of these characters already from watching MCU films, right?
True.
But so we kind of have that familiarity with them. But to my point now, my friend Robert and Sam, right, may not know these characters as much or they are not as tied to them because they kind of watch them sparingly. They don't really, and once they watch, they don't really talk about it afterwards, right? So that's kind of the thing with that. Again, it does. It's a way better movie than Eternals.
It's
Far
not
better than
hard.
Eternals. Like that's a trash movie. A, a criticism, or it's not a criticism, but well, he counted it as a criticism. Um, Apparently, so Taika Waititi really loves Guns N' Roses because he makes a lot of references to Guns N' Roses to this movie. And if you've seen the trailer, "Sweet Child of Mine," like
Yeah, I did
is the
like that.
song. Yeah, so it's a great song by the way. But a lot of these songs do have some relevance to the movie, so I kind of like what he did there.
Okay.
Um, like my buddy Robert was like, man, he essentially just made a movie based off of um a he made a movie based off of the like the album, the soundtrack of Guns N' Roses, 1987 album. Not quite. I did a little bit of research when we were doing our way more in-depth analysis. We'll kind of find out a little bit more about that. But outside of that, I actually thought it was a pretty good movie. They showed a little bit of everyone. Everyone got a little bit of shine, right? And it was
Right.
better when the movie settled down a little bit too. Um, what's up, Robert Floyd? That's the guy who helped review this movie for me. Appetite of the Destruction, right? That's what we was talking about.
Okay.
Um, that's the album that we're talking about for Guns N' Roses. 1987 came out 1987. So yeah. What else? By the way, Robert, or anyone who's like commenting in the chats, we're not spoiling the movie. Okay, don't spoil the movie.
Spoilers.
And
And you know what, man?
that's
My wife, God bless her, she was like, she tried to give me a pass today. She was like, you can go see it if you want to,
was it a
you know.
trap instead?
But I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I don't think it was a trap because she knows that, I mean, this is like a second job or whatever, and I'm really into it or
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna keep helping out, doing stuff or whatever, man.
Aw,
So
it's a
shout out to
family
her.
man.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Family man. Yeah. So no, that's cool. No. So where was I? Yeah, the movie. I'm trying. I'm going to do my best not to spoil
I know it's
anything.
hard. I know it's
So
tough. I know it's tough.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's a shorter movie. It's about 2 hours long, right? And
I
I
did hear
definitely
it was on the
appreciate.
shorter side.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate. It's kind of like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, where in the sense that was a shorter movie, which I appreciate too. Uh,
Yeah.
like that, it shows a lot of. There's a lot of cameos in this movie. That movie had its cameos too. I'm about to spoil. Well, I'll spoil Multiverse of Madness. A lot of those cameos get killed off in like 2 seconds.
Man,
Um,
if you haven't seen Multiverse of Madness by now, I mean,
I'm just
it's
saying.
join us on Disney Plus. Yes, fantastic.
It's a
Mr. Fantastic dies. Blackwell dies. Okay.
okay. You don't have to. Just say people get murked.
I'm in
Yeah,
this.
that movie was that movie was less okay. That movie wasn't a Doctor Strange movie. It was a WandaVision murking the multiverse,
Yeah.
biting everyone in the multiverse movie. Is what that's about. No, but yeah, but this movie, I actually thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good movie, and all. My friends were on the less of that side of that, right? Of
Okay.
not it being as great of a movie. I actually thought it was pretty good. I would also say though, that, and we'll go to this in a little bit in our more in-depth analysis. Sometimes in these movies, you especially comic book or these sci-fi movies, you just go with it, right? Something's not really explained well, and you just go with it. And they did that a couple of times in this movie. And what I would say is that you got to be careful not to continue doing that because it's not going to take it like it's a movie. It's a movie about gods, right? And they mention a lot of gods there. Actually, if you see this in the trailer, the Panther god for Wakanda may have been there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the boss Panther god. Um, I'll save you some trouble now. It's not spoiling. You're not gonna. She's not talking or not gonna present herself. She's just in the background
Just
there,
kind of
so don't
see
worry
her.
about
Yeah.
that.
It's like a
Yeah, you
blink,
just see her
blink
there.
and you miss it type thing.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a other they talk about all the other gods that are there too. It's actually pretty funny. That scene. So I would say Thor or Chris Hemsworth did his job. Um, Tessa Thompson was amazing as always. And I cannot believe I just forgot the name of the actress that plays Jane Johnson. Like this is just
Natalie Portman or something like that.
Natalie Portman. I cannot believe I just lost it. I was gonna say
How you
Padme from
forget? How you
Thor.
forget about Padme, man? So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Boom. Yeah. No, but Natalie Portman was pretty good too, and it was good to see her. It was good to see her back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was good to see. It's good. It was good to have her back. But I would also say there's a little bit of there's a lot of LGBT plus like representation there, particularly with um, Tessa Thompson. There's some other representations of it too, but I won't point it out. But it wasn't necessarily like in your face kind of stuff. I actually thought it was kind of it was very well done, right? And I definitely don't mind to see that being more normalized going forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, to kind of have that representation there. Outside of that, like I said, it was a pretty good movie. I um,
You know what, man? I watch Hot Ones
That's
all the time, man.
yeah.
That show is
So
dope.
great thing about our new streaming service that we're using now is I can post up comments
Well, from
for
all the
video.
platforms, I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Tessa Thompson on Hot Ones this season. Let's go get some chicken wings. I'm a big fan of Tessa Thompson and on Hot Ones. Natalie Portman was great. There was a lot of great actors. I would say though a little bit of criticism, and this might be a Taika Waititi thing, that the bad guy wasn't was a lot like the bad guy Hela in or Kate Blanchett in Thor Ragnarok, where it was good, but you just saw a little bit more of them, and you do see more of of um
Gore.
of gore to than Hela in her movie. Like she was barely in that movie, but
Yeah.
like the 2 seconds she was in that movie, she was great. It was memorable. Christian Bale did his job too. You actually made this point out in your little review, and I think that makes a little sense in the story that that there is you see a little bit of similarity with Gore and Thor, right?
Hmm.
Um, there. So we'll do a super in-depth analysis when you get a chance to watch it. But outside of that, I guess I guess the thing with Marvel movies now though is that right now they're really their own separate journey. And like prior before like Infinity War and Endgame, right? Like you're kind of watching the Marvel movies to see where the Infinity Stones like pop up like in one. And you don't really have that. I mean, the stories are interconnected because they all fought together, right? You see Guardians of the Galaxy. I would say this is a review. That's not spoiling it. Um, Guardian. If you've seen the trailer of Guardians of the Galaxy, they're not in the movie much longer than what you see in the trailers.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I'm not mad at that, but I
yeah,
to your point though, I do agree with that point. Like this new group of movies, um, we're kind of just along for the ride. We don't really
yeah,
know where we're going,
yeah.
right? We don't really
What?
know what it's
Yeah,
leading up to.
yeah,
Whereas the first movies, they kind of gave us, they kind of mapped things out. Hey, we're working up to the Avengers, but boom, 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 boom. Like they
yeah.
kind of sprinkle some things in to make you see, like, oh, they're working towards this. Now it's just like we're getting movies. I have no idea what
Yeah,
the
what's the
next
bigger
thing.
picture? What's the
Yeah,
bigger picture, right? Like they were building towards the obvious Infinity War with Captain America and the Infinity Stone, and then how Avengers came right after that, right? So that's going to be a little bit tougher. I think what they're doing, and this has nothing to do with the movie, is that they're really trying to set up the multiverse, right? So we have already had two multiverse movies with Doctor Strange, obviously, and Spider Man, right? There's a little bit of this flair, not really, in this movie as well. But I would also say like there are mid-credit scenes and end-credit scenes, and I remember the end-credit scenes. I forgot the like mid-credit scenes, but yeah, it's some. Oh, I remember the mid-credit scenes. Yeah, it's the surreal bill. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, it's a good movie. I would say if you're maybe like a passing like you don't it's not like Endgame or like Black Panther or something that's like super revolutionary. I would say the ending of the movie is a little bit more unique. So it's good to kind of see. Like I didn't really see that coming. But it's a more unique ending. But like let's say for my two friends that watched it with me, I would say go ahead and wait, like for it to come on Disney Plus. Like it's not like oh it's a good movie. It's not Black Panther. It's not End Games or like kind of revolutionary or whatever. It's a good fun movie to watch. Um, if you're not as invested in some of the characters, you may or may not have a uh, a good or a great like just time just keeping up with the characters because like it's becoming Disney's becoming this, or this MCU is becoming a beast, right? With Miss Marvel, which
Your
it's
man put up that hashtag watching on the plane.
yeah, no, absolutely. So, like I said, my friend Sam watched it on a plane. So, just kind of just passingly, right? So, yeah, maybe watch it on the plane if you're not into, if not super that into it. But I like the movie. I don't regret going to see it in theaters. Jokes are pretty good. Fight scenes were pretty good. There's a lot of Easter eggs in it, so for those who may not be into the Marvel lore, like my friends that I went to go see the movie with, I will that we can have that more review to see like the Marvel lore. But yeah, that's my Thor movie. That actually went a little bit longer than I would like it to go to. But yeah, I can't wait for you to see it and get your thoughts, and I'll go deep into it, and then it'll be spoilers all day long. So
Oh, of course, of course,
you've been warned. Okay, let's talk NBA.
bro.
uh,
My
let's talk
gosh.
NBA. Did you see? We're gonna talk KD a little bit, but did you see Kyrie Irving? There's a video of Kyrie Irving and KD, and he goes like, "In my last life, man, I was you. I was you. I oh, what up, PK? What's up, man? You're late. What the hell, man? It's 9:44.
That man is busy too. Shoot.
Man, no. What was I saying? Yeah, so there was a video of Kyrie and Katie. They were on like Instagram Live or whatever, and Kyrie was just kind of just talking his like spiritual nonsense. It was like, in my past life, I was you, man. I was going up there and getting shots, and I was you. And I'm like, basketball hasn't been around that long to have a past life in it, right? Right?
Like I said,
But
that
yeah,
dude is his skills are otherworldly, but
yeah.
he's gonna take a special group of guys to play with Kyrie
I would say this. Look, I told you what I think about Kyrie. Um,
Irving.
and he thinks he's Neo and that we're all trying to keep him stuck in the Matrix. That's Kyrie's like his thing, right? That's his problem.
I definitely get
Yeah,
a
it's
similar vibe.
yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, let's go ahead and hit up KD. So KD,
Your man
Prince,
requested a trade.
yeah, Prince Williams County, PG County's own. That's Prince Williams, Prince George, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, trying to represent a trade. Oh, what's up, Kai? Oh, I got some people here. I got some. Got
what's
some. We got
happening?
Robert. We got guy. We got some.
So this
Got
this is
some
my thing,
people.
right? I don't
Yeah.
mind that players request trades. Like this is the era where players have the power, right? They
Yeah.
have more of a say in where they go, who they play for,
Yep.
stuff. Yeah, Kyrie. Yeah, yeah. Once he said the stuff about the Earth being flat, I was done with everything Kyrie had to say outside of basketball.
Yeah.
Um,
Kyrie's a flat earther. Yeah.
but I don't mind. I'm not mad. KD or these guys are requesting trades. What I get mad about is you request a trade and then you get mad because people come out and they're like, why? Like they question why, right? Because you go from a situation where you're in OKC, you, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, doing damage, right? Y'all got to the finals together, right? And then you roll out. Okay, you go to Golden State. Obviously, he did that for his legacy, right? He wants the rings. Okay. Then you leave Golden State. You leave a great situation with Golden State after you get in a little dust up with Draymond Green. It just from the
Yeah.
outside looking in, it just looks bad. You're just looking like mad sensitive, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm just outside looking in. I'm no
Yeah.
basketball savant or
We don't
whatever. I'm
know.
just
We don't know
outside
what. We don't
looking in. You
know.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
So you want to understand you want to do something for your legacy, and you might leave where you were at OKC because you realize that maybe you can't get to where you want to be with that group of guys. Hey, I get it. I'm cool with that, right? You
Yeah.
go to Golden State, who's already like a winning team, and you get your rings. But for some reason, that's still not good enough.
Yeah.
Now you go to Brooklyn, you want to be in your own situation. You people when people explain this, like, hey, I need to get back to a situation where, like, I'm the centerpiece. I'm trying to make something happen somewhere else, right?
Mm.
Now you're on the Nets. You make the decision to play with Kyrie Irving. You make the decision to bring um, freaking James Harden over there. And again, y'all just, something bad happens and y'all just can't continue to play together and try to figure things out. It's like, wham, 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 I want out now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just tired of this dude. Just like, dude, what do you want? What do you want? And now we're looking at, I need to go to number one contender. I want to go to Phoenix. I think Phoenix is on there. And I forgot who the other team was that he wanted to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, fam, nobody's going to give you the respect you deserve if you keep on doing this. We know you got the
Yeah.
skills. We know you're a great player. And, as far as I'm concerned, when, you're probably, if you're not the best player, you're probably the second best player. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just
Agreed.
like,
Yeah.
I
No.
just
No.
throw
No.
my
I
hands
mean,
up.
Kyrie Irving. I mean, not Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant is an anomaly to me because you're making money, right? You're by far one of the greatest scorers of all time, right? When you're on Golden State, you got your MVPs. Like you got it, right? What I don't understand is that this guy who's so good, like at every time like people try to get in his head and he always gives people
He's
like a
sensitive.
response. Yeah,
He's
he's response, he
sensitive.
gives people a response, but it doesn't affect his play, right? When he goes out there, he kills it,
Hey,
right? Every time.
but that's what
When
they
he went
say.
to Golden State,
Like,
when he went to Golden State and he in Golden State he traveled to OKC and they booed the shit out of him, he still like dropped like 30, right? When
that's
he
what
went to
everybody says
Philly,
about him. Though they're like, KD is about balling. Like, this
yeah,
dude is like balling his life.
yeah. And yeah, it's I don't understand. I just don't understand. Like if I was Brooklyn, I wouldn't trade him at all. I'll get rid of Kyrie, like for sure. Right? It seems to me, and I watch Imo Doka, so he's uncomfortable conversations with the black man. He said kind of something that's kind of effed up. He says Katie is looking very Halle Berry-ish right now, right? And they said
Oh my god,
I,
that
I
was
was
such a
like,
great analogy.
I kind of against that analogy, but he said he's looking kind of Halle Berry because she looks good, but like these relationships just don't last, right? Um, it's
That he
just
was
unfortunate.
spot on, and he didn't even say it. I think if I had tried to make that analogy, I would have sounded extremely disrespectful,
Well,
right?
yeah,
But I did not think the way he said it.
yeah.
I mean, I don't even think
I'm
Katie
so
could be mad. It was just like, it's just like literally like, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it just shows where he is. If I was them, I wouldn't sign him. I mean, I wouldn't let him go. He's like, you signed a contract. We'll get a Kyrie. I think what he needs is strong leadership, right? He had that on Golden State. They had great front office leadership. They had great basketball leadership with Draymond Green and Steph Curry,
It
right?
was Steph's team, man.
Yeah, it was Steph's team, but Steph Curry adjusted, right? I was
Right.
also looking at stats of like the 20 like the first finals he won against like the Cavs, right? When Andre Iguodala got the Finals MVP. That's just stupid how he got the Finals MVP, right? It didn't
That
make any
was Steph's
sense.
final MVP, bro. He
That
won.
no,
He
well,
won Steph's finals MVP.
if anyone should have won the Finals MVP that year, it should have been LeBron. Like he put up stupid numbers, right?
I'm sorry,
But
man. I
and I
don't.
don't
I
think
don't. I don't agree with giving the MVP
well,
to somebody from the
well,
losing
that's the
side.
thing. I don't think neither the voters, right? That's why Andre got it. But Andre didn't do that good of a job on LeBron,
No,
right? Like he didn't defensively. So how it went to Steph, and that's to Andre, not Steph, even though Steph had a couple bad games, like
he's
just
still
blows me.
average. His averages, his stats throughout that finals was still great. It was still better
Yeah.
than everybody else.
I would argue though that maybe every time he did had great stats, he lost that game, but he only lost like two games. So I mean, it's yeah. Still, I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, that's crazy, man. That's just nuts. But yeah, no, with KD, it's he's such a great player, but he keeps like just he keeps doing this to himself. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand, right? Like
yeah.
if you just want to just go out there and just go out and ball. Don't be like a prima donna about it. You got your 2 rings, right? I don't think it's gonna catch up to um anyone actually. He's not gonna catch like well let me ask you this is Steph Curry ranking now because I don't think he's gonna be considered a better career than Steph or LeBron or any of them, right? He's a top 10 player for sure, maybe 15 now. I don't know, but
Who,
yeah,
Durant?
yeah, Durant, top 10, sure.
I might give him top 15. I don't think I give him top 10 yet.
Wow, yeah, I can't really argue too much against that. I'm not one to argue much against that either.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't do
but yeah, no, Katie, Steph might be a top 10 now, just
that.
because
Steph is
of
absolutely
everything.
top 10 as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned. Steph is absolutely top 10.
yeah, absolutely. Comment in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Uh, and if you do this live, you might see it on the screen. So absolutely. Do you like the little feature there?
Your man Robert was like, you know who I am, a guy who wants to win a title without Steph Curry. And you know what? You're exactly right. That's exactly what he wants. He wants to show that he
Yeah,
can win without Steph Curry. Will he
and I
do it?
wonder.
Probably not, because you know who's out there? Steph Curry. Steph Curry's going to get another ring before Katie does. Mark my
Yeah,
words.
no, like KD. I think KD just needs a lot of strong leadership around him, right? Where he can go out and just ball, right? So he actually might work well on Miami, right? He might work real well in Miami, right? Where you have that strong leadership there. My only problem is though, um, is like what if like he gets yelled at a little bit too hard and he wants to leave, like he did in Golden State, right? Like that's the problem right there, right?
KD playing with Jimmy Butler, man, I don't know.
Exactly.
Jimmy
Because
was whipping his ass.
Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra were getting at it. They were going hard,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like they got a huge argument, but right, he like they got over it and they made it to the finals, Eastern Conference Finals, right? And they beat a lot of good team, and they were one shot away from making it to the championship. Just Jimmy Butler was just on his last leg, so he had to just shoot up a shot. But yeah, reach out to our boy BK. Um, yeah, talking about LeBron James. Yeah, concur. Right, I think he should have won the Finals MVP that year. Um, whatever. Don't hate. It's not my fault. Your friends agree with me.
That's one guy. That's one guy. I ain't
All
hating though.
right. Oh, I forgot about. Oh, I forgot he's a Broly maker too. He's like MVP, even though Purdue lost the. Oh yeah, Carson Edwards was originally was regional MVP, even though Purdue lost to UVA. And other sports do this too. NHL, the losing team can win like the final MVP. I forgot what they call it, the final MVP as well. And I think you can do it in the NBA. There's no rule that the winner has to be the MVP.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
there's no rule. No rule against that.
let's
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's move on. Because we got 2 more topics to discuss. So Nicholas, you sent me a video to watch, right? So I'm actually we kind of have BK on and Robert. So I know you guys are gonna have fun with this one. So go ahead and talk about the video, and we might be running a little over,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no,
whatever.
we
Let's have some fun.
this happened a couple of weeks ago. We're actually a little bit late on this one. I meant to say something
Yeah,
about this last episode, but this lady went viral for
lady and her baby's father.
her baby daddy went viral because this dude has a kid with this woman, one kid with this woman. She has multiple children by one or other man. Not like it matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, dude brings some food over for his child,
Yep.
and she's out there videotaping him, thinking that she's gonna put him on blast for not bringing food for the rest of the kids. But then it turns out everybody's like telling her that she's wrong. She's the one that went viral for doing that, and everybody sided with the dude, which I thought it was hilarious. So I'm just
Hmm.
like, why? How could you? Why would you expect somebody to take care of all of your children? No, you know what I mean. That's not what
Yeah.
we're here
So,
for. That's not what we're here for. You laid down and made them kids. I made one,
well,
right? But it
okay.
is the only thing I disagree with. It is kind of messed up, right?
Yeah.
So the lady, she's there with all her children, and you come with one bag for one child. Everybody else has to watch this kid eat. That's the,
So that's what you said right there. So yeah, quick little sum up. Yeah, so a lady has 4 kids, right? One of the fathers of her kid only bought McDonald's for his kid while that kid was hanging out with the other 4 children, and she just literally berates him, right? It's like, what the hell is your problem? And she essentially took his food and threw it on the ground, right? If
yeah.
you can't, yeah, she wasted food. So
And he brought McDonald's. This wasn't like it was something
yeah,
like great that he brought this kid. I mean, it was like McDonald's.
well, you never know. Like, I won't even go
You know
that
what I
far
mean?
because, like, you never know. But
Yeah.
I would say this. Um, what you said was very similar to what like one of the responses I saw in that article says about. Yeah, I mean the guy is right. I mean the lady was wrong for that. But he probably should have just spent the extra $20 to get some food for the rest of the kids anyway. Like you buying the food kids stuff like occasionally isn't equivalent to taking care of. Now again, like talking like a money thing, we don't know what's his wallet like, right? If he that's his last like $5 to feed his kid or whatever, right? Um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, too, you also know who you laid to bed with. She made that point. It's like, hey, yeah, well, you knew I was, had 3 kids. You decided to have a baby with me. She's right, but she's wrong to
Well, I
berate
don't
him.
know if he
Totally
decided
wrong
to
to
have
berate
a
him.
baby. I'm pretty sure that
I don't think you can hide 3 kids from someone.
no, I'm saying
Yeah.
this next his kid, I mean it probably wasn't planned either. You know what I'm saying? So
Um, question from BK: do we know whose kids they are? We don't. Uh, what we know is that one of them kids is his, and 3 of them are not.
the point
So
is finally there's a situation where the freaking baby daddy wins. How about that? Every time we talk about this type of stuff, I was like, your baby daddy, you're no good baby dad, you're no good daddy, da 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 da. This dude won, and she pretty much is got. I don't know if y'all watch the Breakfast Club, but she pretty much got
yeah,
donkey of the day for that, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think
Right?
anybody wins in that
Oh, how
situation,
many
right?
kids are there? I want to. I think I read somewhere she had like 3 other kids or something like that, but not sure. I want to say I saw that in an article somewhere.
Oh, he said how many kids? Yeah.
And
Um,
let me. She had the nerve to come back with a video to try to explain what she didn't answer for everything. It's like, lady, just
yeah,
drop it.
yeah,
You're wrong.
yeah. I
Don't
don't think
expect
there's no
this dude
winners
to
here,
try to come take
unfortunately.
care of all your kids. Get out of here.
Yeah, but buying McDonald's is not taking care of all the kids, right? That being said, we don't know what's in his wallet, right? We don't know if that's all
I
he can
mean,
afford, right?
that being
So
said, man, I mean, he's making the effort. I don't know. We
yeah,
don't know what else he's doing either, right?
yeah, or not
He could be
doing,
doing less. He could be
yeah,
doing that. Might be the extent of his contribution. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, but I think she was definitely wrong for throwing the food and berating him like that. Like that makes no sense, right? She could at least said, "Hey, I appreciate you taking care of your son or whatever." It sounded to me that she was jealous, right? Because in the video, she's like, "You have all these people here thinking you're a great dad, but this is what you're doing," and that's why she's like recording to try to prove it wrong,
oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah.
Um,
Of course she was jealous.
yeah, I have a
Still
good friend
backfired on her
who
though.
yeah, it did backfire. Like she was just wrong, and it just sounded like she was pouting and just like,
I agree, BK. It is irrelevant to the point of him needing to bring kids food. Absolutely, it doesn't matter.
mhm.
All right, but yeah, she needs to sit her ass down. Next.
Yeah. I will say this. bringing kids McDonald's isn't equivalent to taking care of the kids. If he could have brought them food, he should have, right? If he could have, he should have, right? Because they're at the end of the day, they are just kids, right? They're kids. So, right, we don't like, and also bringing your kid, all the kids' food, helps your kid because it makes your kid not not feel the eye of those
Exactly. Yeah.
kids, right? You think about it, right? So
Yeah.
you're helping your kid more, right? You're probably going to be the favorite dad of all of those kids. You never know. So,
I would think she
um,
would use this to embarrass her other children's fathers. Where are
that's
you?
true.
Why aren't you coming over here? Making
Yeah,
deliveries. Y'all, all y'all might as well be making deliveries to the
yeah,
kids.
that's true. That's true.
Oh
But yeah,
man,
you just feel sorry for the kids. All right. Last topic of the day. I haven't heard the album. Drake. I
yeah,
remember
man.
when we used to work together, we used to like talk about how we hate Drake. I'm surprised to listen to his album. So let me know what is up.
Well, well, I misspoke. I said I tried to.
Ah.
Um, let me tell you. Let me give you a little overview of my history with Drake real quick.
Okay.
I was a fan of Drake when he first came out with some of his mixtapes or whatever. I was a fan of some of his stuff. I was like, yo, this dude, talented guy. Drake is the talented guy, right?
Yeah. Sing
First
rap.
album
Yep.
I thought was pretty dope. Was it Houston Land in Vegas? I thought was dope. First album was dope. Next one was pretty good. But for me, it's just that like I understand that you want to like croon, I guess, with some of the songs, but bro, you can't sing. So we keep getting like more and more like R&B from this dude, and it sounds horrible. And this album is pretty much an R&B album set to like house music. Shit sucks. It sucks. It sucks. I mean, it's just there's nothing on here that made me like want to like go back and listen. No bars are being spit on this album. It's just he's just singing, and I use the term loosely. I mean, it's freaking hard. This is elevator music. This is waiting in the DMV for your new licensed music. It's horrible, and it's like like
uh,
for me, I like Drake projects when he's a feature. The mixtapes he did with Future, fire, awesome, right?
yeah.
I forgot when he had Jumpman and all that stuff. That project, I think he had another joint with Future. Hey,
Mm.
I'm with you, dog. But then he keeps on coming back like with this. I don't even know, man. I mean, his fans love it. He for me. I look at him like Eminem. I acknowledge that Eminem is a very talented MC. His music is not for me. I acknowledge that Drake is a talented
Yeah.
artist, but for his music is not for me, and it has nothing to do with me being like old or whatever. Because I still listen to new music. You know what I'm saying? I'm still listening to new stuff, but his stuff. I mean, it was horrible. It's trash. Like just skip it. Like you get there's a reason why everybody's making fun of this dude's album right now. It's horrible. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Mm.
But I
Well,
did listen to who else dropped some music recently? New Chris Brown album. Even though all his albums are super long, hey, he's making
really,
good music.
people people
That
people
breezy
don't
album
do
is
long
good, man.
albums. People don't do long albums anymore, right?
Yeah.
So, I was actually in preparation of the show. I was listening to the Guns N' Roses album "Appetite to Destruction," right? Long album, right? And
Yeah.
even we talked about Eminem, right? Long album.
Yeah.
Had longer, more complete albums. Nas, Jay Z. Well, Jay Z, you can tell his albums got a lot shorter, like as he got older.
Yeah, he didn't really do. He hasn't really done long albums. It's outside of
Yeah,
like Blueprint too.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, man. Well, we got your review, so I guess we're avoiding Drake, huh?
Yeah.
Avoid Drake out of there. Okay.
I typically avoid Drake anyway, but sometimes I give
Yeah,
it a
I know. I
try.
was gonna say it hasn't changed since what in 5 years that I've known you.
I did like Certified Lover Boy. I'm not gonna lie about it. I did like Certified Lover Boy.
Didn't
Even
sound
though
like
I
a
thought
movie
it
that
was
you
gonna be
like.
some bullshit. I thought it was gonna be some absolute bullshit, but it was pretty good.
All right.
But that's all I
Cool.
got, people.
Yeah, that's all we got. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for spending time with us. It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday. Uh, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, right? Um, thank you so much. Actually, BK was starting some shit. He said your brother loved the album.
Oh, of course he did.
Um,
He's a Drake stan. Yes, he did. Yes.
Trickstan. We gotta have Nicholas's brother back on here. BK, we gotta get you back up on here too. We got some business to discuss. You've been avoiding us.
Yeah,
Don't
we got
appreciate
some
that.
things to talk about.
Yeah. No, but no, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out here. Um, and like monkeypox is a thing, right?
Y'all, please stay safe out
Yeah,
here, man. Mask up. Do what you
yeah.
need to do, man.
Well, I
My
was in
God.
DC. I was in DC, like I said, Saturday, and not a lot of mask. Not a lot of mask out there. So I wore a mask for sure. I don't think people care. Oh, one last little thing. With my buddy Sam. So we were outside, like drinking, eating pizza after the movie, and it felt good. It was what, like 80 degrees, 70 degrees,
Oh yeah,
and
it's beautiful
and
there,
Sam was
man.
like, "Yeah, this is gonna be the coolest summer ever," right? As in temperature cool. Like outside of that, it's gonna just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And yeah, cool. So all right, cool. Well, let's go. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys later. See ya.
Later, guys.